How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan. Born to battle. Stop just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the star shines bright, that's where we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And over where I'm at, it's 1:36 on this Valentine's morning. So you're going to get the quiet storm, Angry Cowboys fan, for this video. But since the week of the Super Bowl, there's been a lot of talking heads talking about the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window, and it has leaked to Cowboys Nation and the media who covers the Dallas Cowboys. But before the Super Bowl, the crew on First Take was talking about the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window under Dak Prescott, and as I was scrolling through X just tonight, Mr. Fourth and Long, Jesse Holley, and Clarence Hill Jr. was talking about the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window and had happened to said something that I don't particularly agree with when it comes to said Super Bowl windows. So we're going to make this video a little bit longer than usual and take a listen to 4 clips. 3 clips from the episode of First Take and 1 solo clip from DLLS Cowboys so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to Dan Orlovsky on his take on the Super Bowl window for our Dallas Cowboys.
I think if Dallas, this coming season, even right now, early February, if Dallas gets average defense, they win 12 games next year. Their defense was historically bad. Worst defense we've seen in the NFL last year and maybe the last 5 seasons. They've got 4 picks in the next 2 first rounds. We can say a lot about this Cowboys organization, and a lot of it is true. I do believe early draft picks, they do better recently than people give them credit for.
Fair.
I think Dak Prescott is going to start like a second chapter in his career. That is
I'm so sorry. Go ahead, man.
I think Prescott is
bad.
going to. I think he's
My
going to
bad.
start a second chapter in his career, in the way that we've seen some quarterbacks that are in their 10th plus
Yeah.
season go into. I'm not going to say Matthew Stafford-like, but I do think we can see that. I expect it to be in Dallas and not elsewhere. I honestly believe the Cowboys will get back to Super Bowl relevancy very quickly, and that Super Bowl window is very much so going to be open 2026 and beyond.
Hey, first and foremost, Dan, we only have 3 first-round picks for the next 2 NFL drafts. If you remember correctly, we gave up one of those first-round picks in order to attain Quinnen Williams for the Dallas Cowboys after that home loss to the Arizona Cardinals and before the trade deadline came and went. But I couldn't agree more with Dan Orlovsky. I know that's a shock, but I've said it in the past. I'm not going to continuously make videos about these talking heads when I disagree with them. I'll make videos when I agree with them as well. I'll give them their props when they have legitimate football takes, good or bad, about the Dallas Cowboys. But we're going to go ahead and keep it moving with this second clip, and this clip is from Mina Kimes. Mina Kimes has given her 2 cents about the whole Super Bowl window. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
So the question was, has his windows closed?
That freaking laugh, man.
He's the third.
If I could punch that laugh.
He's a top 10 quarterback who's 32 years old. He's in the prime of his career. His window is still open. I expect this Cowboys offense, assuming they tag Pickens, we'll see what
That's a good
happens
part,
long term, to continue to be a top 10 offense. Now, I am not pointing to them and saying Super Bowl team until they show me that they fixed some of the issues on defense. So I'm right now they're the Bengals South, let's be real. But Dan makes a good point. They've got draft capital. If they can approach average on defense, no reason why this team can't win the NFC East.
Yeah.
The NFC East, by the way, feels more open than it did in the past.
You know, Dan, I completely agree with you. If I could punch that laugh, I would in a heartbeat. But Mina Kimes is absolutely correct, Cowboys Nation. I'm not going to say that the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window is open until they show me. I'm not going to put all these expectations on the Dallas Cowboys after going 7-9-1 the previous season. Not only will the coaches and the players have to show me, but the owner/GM will have to show me as well, and that starts during this offseason. Will they play games with George Pickens' contract extension, or will they get it done? Will they prolong Javonte Williams, or will they get it done? Will they do something that they haven't been known for doing, and that's being proactive in free agency, being aggressive in free agency? This is what's going to dictate if the Dallas Cowboys will be contenders or not for the 2026 season. Now let's go ahead and jump into the third clip from Ryan Clark.
I will say this. I'm more convinced that the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window is open because of how much I believe in Dak Prescott.
Look at us three.
Their Super Bowl window is open because of him, because of his leadership, because of his growth, and because of the production. The level that Dak Prescott played at last year, his ability to throw the football, his ability to identify matchups, his ability to maneuver in the pocket and give players extra times to separate, it was phenomenal. Dak Prescott, if he plays with a team that's better on defense, he's here this weekend with an opportunity to win the MVP. Now, all of this, in my opinion, is centered around George Pickens being on this team again next year.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about, Ryan Clark. Everything is predicated on George Pickens being on this team for the 2026 season. But a team is only as good as their leader on and off the field. The coaching staff will be great if the front office will be great. The players will perform great if the coaching staff can be great, and the outcome for Cowboys Nation will be great if all falls into place. But now, Cowboys Nation, I want to play the fourth and final clip. In this clip, Jesse Holley explains to Clarence Hill Jr. his disbelief in the Super Bowl window. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
I am at a place now where I think that window does not exist. It is not a real window. It is not a real window. I think that what we have now is, and you saw it with Seattle, if you want to, if you really want to, you can. If you really want to make your window open, you can go and spend the necessary assets to do so. If you don't want your window to be open, you can do enough or less than enough for that window not to be open. And I just come to a place right now when I'm looking at the Cowboys, and I know that Jerry said that he's here for a good time, not a long time. Dak Prescott and other quarterbacks, there are coaches that are good enough that are taking aging quarterbacks, not so good quarterbacks who lack skill, who lack top tier talent, top end talent, and they're making something of it. So I have come to a place now. I don't believe the window is real anymore. To me, it's a myth.
I'm sorry, Jesse Holley, but I'm going to have to disagree with you on your take. How can you say that if you want a Super Bowl window open, but then say that you don't believe in the Super Bowl window? Cowboys Nation, I'm about to flip this on its head, and then I'm going to leave y'all for the comment section to give your conclusion. So, y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
I'm being keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
All right, first and foremost, Cowboys Nation, I believe it is severely premature to talk about a Super Bowl window for any of the teams in the NFL, seeing that the 25-26 Super Bowl just concluded. We have no clue what any of these teams are going to look like for the 2026 season. But let's keep it a buck. The two teams that represented their conference in the 24-25 Super Bowl didn't even sniff the Super Bowl this year. That doesn't mean that their Super Bowl window's closed, though. Teams are entitled to have off years, and then they get right back into the thick of things the following year. The Philadelphia Eagles were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, and the Kansas City Chiefs didn't even make the playoffs to begin with. That doesn't mean that they'll have the same fate in 2026. With Super Bowl windows, you have teams that stay around the rim of the Super Bowl or are mainstays in the divisional round of the playoffs, meaning their Super Bowl windows are still open. A team that comes to mind is the Buffalo Bills. Even though it seems as if Josh Allen can't get over that hump, him and the Buffalo Bills continue to find themselves at said hump year in and year out. This meaning that their Super Bowl window is wide open. After firing their head coach Sean McDermott and hiring Joey Brady to lead the Buffalo Bills, who knows what their chances are, but changing the head coach doesn't tell me that their Super Bowl window is closed, Cowboys Nation. But as far as the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window, I do believe that there's a Super Bowl window for our Cowboys, but it hasn't even been cracked open by Brian Schottenheimer. Last year, our record was 7-9-1, and we missed the playoffs. Instead of wondering about a Super Bowl window, the Dallas Cowboys have to figure out how to get back into the playoffs first. Last year saw our offense working like a well-oiled machine. It was in the top 5 in a number of different categories, and if that type of play carries over into 2026, the Dallas Cowboys team will be a dangerous team to have to go against. That's if Christian Parker can be that instant success at the defensive coordinator spot and whip that defense into shape. But I was taking a look at the depth chart of the Dallas Cowboys, and I'll admit to you, this defense isn't as far off as some people would have you believe, Cowboys Nation. There's a number of talented players on this defense just looking to be coached up. I'm going to cover that in a different video, but if this defense could be in the top 16, I feel this Dallas Cowboys team would have what it takes to make it to the playoffs, and with this offense, have luck in a single elimination type of atmosphere. But the most of the offensive weapons for the Dallas Cowboys should be able to come back for the 2026 season. The question marks are Javonte Williams, Brandon Aubrey, and George Pickens, even though George Pickens will be placed on the franchise tag, and y'all know what that means. No play, no pay. Or vice versa. No pay, no play. But this Cowboys offense has a number of pillars that were established in 2025. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyler Smith being the captains of the Dallas Cowboys, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, and Ryan Flournoy emerging as reliable pillars, and the play calling of Brian Schottenheimer will continue to excel in year 2. But as far as the Super Bowl window, Ryan Clark said something along the lines that he has faith in the Super Bowl window for the Dallas Cowboys, all because Dak Prescott is the quarterback. Even though I would agree with him, I hate the fact that this has to be the way it is in Dallas. That's just like saying we're only going to go as far as Dak takes us. If the Seattle Seahawks didn't show us anything this past year, it showed us that your quarterback doesn't have to continuously throw you to success. The success can come from any different area on your football team, like your run game or your defense. For years, the Dallas Cowboys organization has placed its success on the arm of Dak Prescott. In the last 2 Super Bowls, you witnessed 2 quarterbacks who aren't known for their arm talent win said Super Bowls in Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold. It wasn't how prolific they were at throwing the ball. You witnessed how a team could be placed around them and how their coaching staff took advantage of the pieces that were around the quarterback. This hasn't been the case for Dallas, and it hasn't been the case for Dak Prescott. For years, it's been the Cowboys having to try and be successful with whoever they give the head coach to put out on the field. That's not how you build a championship-winning team, and that damn sure ain't how you open up your Super Bowl window. And some teams, they can find themselves where they kick the damn Super Bowl window in, where they're coming out of nowhere and just winning Super Bowls. No one thought that the Seattle Seahawks would win a Super Bowl the way they did. They took advantage of a season where there wasn't a truly dominant football team on either conference, and they capitalized on it. What's stopping the Dallas Cowboys from doing the exact same thing? But during Jesse Holley's take, he said that he didn't believe that the Super Bowl window was a thing, but also said that you can do things to open said Super Bowl window. So it kind of confused me, Cowboys Nation. Like I just said, the Seattle Seahawks kicked in their Super Bowl window. They didn't need time for it to open up and them to go through it. They busted that damn thing wide open. After a year where they went 10-7 and didn't make the playoffs, they came back, made the right moves as an organization, hired a new head coach, and they took advantage of it. It wasn't the players on the team that they just relied on. It was everyone that's in that organization. Their Super Bowl run started in the offseason of 2025. In order for the Dallas Cowboys to either open their window or kick that sumbitch right in, the Super Bowl run needs to start now. It needs to start now, and it needs to start with the front office putting key pieces into key positions and moving from there. They can't just do the bare minimum and expect the maximum results. That's like a player putting in the bare minimum at training camp and preseason and in practice, but expecting to put out the maximum effort during the season. It just doesn't work that way, Cowboys Nation. So, is the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window wide open? Pump the brakes. To be continued, Cowboys Nation. Is there a such thing as a Super Bowl window? Absolutely. But that's in my take. That's only in my mind. You may think differently. The only way to open it or kick the door in is you need the participation of everyone involved in the team and the team building. This offseason is going to show Cowboys Nation everything it needs to know about the chances at making it to the playoffs next year and how we will perform in said playoffs. Like I said, the way Jerry and Stephen Jones have been moving as of late, this is the movement of a serious football team. Now let's see if the seriousness continues during free agency and in the draft. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you feel about what the crew of First Take as well as Jesse Holley had to say in this video? Do you believe that there's a Super Bowl window for teams in the NFL? And what does it take to open said window? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and you want to help the channel reach its current goal of 20,000 subscribers, drop a like on this video, share with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device and you haven't used them up yet, make sure you hype this video. Doing so will help get the content over to Dallas Cowboys fans. They'll come on over to the YouTube channel and become Angry Cowboys fans themselves. And if you are DC for life and you want to continue to see Jerry and Stephen Jones help this Dallas Cowboys team open their Super Bowl window, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, or film breakdowns. You can catch the Madden 26 and College Football 26 gameplay on the other channel, the Angry Cowboys Fan Gaming Channel. I'll put the link to that as well as the gamer tag in the description. Just because one team wins against the odds doesn't mean that's how all NFL teams win the Super Bowl. Some take advantage of the situation, and some take advantage of their Super Bowl windows. So let's start putting together the Avengers, and let's chase this Super Bowl for the 2026 season. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys Fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.